everybody. Thank you for joining us today with our Spotlight Information event with Multi-trades and Brickwork. We've got loads of content coming up for you this evening. We've got campus tour videos and dedicated facility shots of the area, so brickwork and multi-trade workshops. We'll also be hearing from Derek, who is our CM of the course. And at the end, we'll have a live Q&A opportunity. So please, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them. I'm going to pass you over to Derek now, and he's going to introduce himself. Thank you.
Hello there, my name's Derek Rutherford. I'm Curriculum Manager for Construction Trades at North Kent College. I've been in the college for about 18 years now. Started off as a painting and decorating lecturer, that's my trade. I've actually been teaching students throughout that time at various levels and abilities. I've then progressed on to becoming a curriculum manager and monitoring and supporting other trade areas and developing them to become a outstanding department within the college at North Kent College. My background is a painter and decorator, as I said earlier. I did that since actually leaving the army. So from about 22 years of age, I've been trained or been training as and developing myself as a painter and decorator and working in the construction industry. Later on, I wanted to pass on my skills and abilities to young people so they can actually then enjoy this trade. And really becoming a curriculum manager has enabled me to ensure that other young people can actually enroll at the college and develop their skills in different trade areas. Tonight we'll be talking about bricklaying and multi-trade activities.
Thank you, Derek. I'm going to now introduce the Gravesend campus tour. Following that, I'll play the facilities video as well.
I done level 1 multi-trade last year, and now I'm on to level 2 maintenance. Within construction, it was all the basics of like learning how to build and what tiling is and painting and that. Whereas level 2 is basically like that, but the repairs to it, so it's just like the added on bit. So really it's just repairs to it, and quite enjoying it because it's just up on your feet, moving about, and you're doing stuff. But I can bricklay, paint, render, tile and that, and it's giving me the skills to be able to go out and have my own job and earn the money that I can.
Hello there. My name is Derek Rutherford, Curriculum Manager for Construction Trades. If you're interested in becoming a bricklayer, if you come to North Kent College, you'll get a great experience. The courses that I'm going to be talking about is Level 1 Diploma in Brickwork and Level 1 Certificate in Multi-trade Activities. On the brickwork side, the entry criteria is threes. So you need a grade 3 at least to come onto brickwork. And then that also means that you'd have to do your maths and English when you come to college. So only a couple of hours per week in maths and a couple of hours in English. The rest of the time you'll be spent on practical and classroom theory for developing your skills as a bricklayer. As you progress and you get better, you can go on to a level 2 bricklaying diploma, and then hopefully eventually into an apprenticeship. If you become a qualified bricklayer and you actually become employed, then you would actually be able to gain experience and develop in skills. You could actually maybe raise your salary to about £180 per day. So it's a good incentive to gain the training at college while you can, to be able to get the experience of that qualification. Just to give you an understanding about what we're expecting you to do, is that you would need to be applying online for an application to join the bricklaying for next academic year. And then what would happen is then your application would be dealt with within the college, and one of my lecturers would call you and discuss your application. What we want to see you doing as well is being sure that this is the course for you. Our lecturers will discuss all of that with you, but if you find within a few weeks that you're not too sure, our team, as well as our careers advisors, will have a chat with you and trying to give you an additional advice and guidance on what's the best thing to do. Our brickwork workshops are very well appointed. All you need to develop your skills to build various type of brick structures. We're actually now next week having another building erected outside, and that will help support our multi-trade activities as well as our brickwork. If you wanted to do multi-trade activities, you need to have at least grade 2s. The idea of that is so you have a good understanding and be able to observe and absorb the work and the knowledge required. So what you would need to do is to make sure that you get your maths and English to the best levels you possibly can for either trades. For the multi-trade activities, that gives you a taster of all the trades. So the trades we're talking about in construction would be brickwork, carpentry, painting and decorating, ceramic tiling, and plastering and rendering. It is more of a taster of all those subjects for help you to decide in the future and your progression on the following year to what you would like to do. What we want you to try and do before you even get to college and your application is do some research and have a clear understanding of the route you would like to progress. Maybe ask a relative or a friend who's actually in that industry for their advice and guidance. If you want to apply, what you need to do is to do that online at the moment. That's the best thing to do. And then you would have to then submit your application. The courses are based at Gravesend. So if you, hopefully you know where Gravesend is, that you can get buses directly to outside the college. And also the train station is about a 20-minute walk away. But there is a additional service that actually works from the train station directly to outside the college, which is a payable service. If you want to do level 3 in any of the trade areas, you need to progress through the years. The reason why we're saying that is because, yes, you might have an academic ability, but what we need to do is to improve your hand skills and knowledge about the trades. So what you need to be able to do is to develop those skills, to be able to apply yourself, to be able to build a brick wall, because really being at school and maybe getting your level 2 qualifications there won't give you the knowledge to be able to do those tasks in industry. Excuse me. If you start on the multi-trade, the courses do cross over because really at the end of the day, if you not too sure what you want to do and you've maybe struggling a little bit with your maths and English, is that you could start on the multi-trade, and after the first year, after you've experienced carpentry, brickwork, painting and decorating, you might have then a better understanding of what actual course you want to do. But from multi-trade, yes, you can progress into brickwork. I'm just reading some of the questions that's been asked by our people online in the respects of potential learners who want to join courses for next year. What you want to be doing if you want to actually extend the skills of a bricklayer, we have a program which is maintenance operations, and that helps you understand and gives you the ability to be able to actually lay driveways. So that would be part of the maintenance operations level 2. But again, if you started off on the multi-trade or actually did a year in brickwork, the following year you could do maintenance operations level 2. And that qualification there would actually introduce an additional skill, would be block paving. So that would help in that respects. We will actually, during the time at college, we will actually increase your knowledge in various skills. It's not just about laying bricks and actually building brick walls. You'll actually be taught how to deal with customers, how to look at quotes, how to actually order materials, how to receive materials that are being delivered. So it's a lot of additional work, not just laying bricks. The college expects you to provide safety boots and really work overalls or work trousers in the brick workshop, because really we want to protect your clothes, and also we want you to look professional. We do provide a service of actually getting 3 t-shirts for you that are payable when you start the course, and they have the college logo on. It just gives you a professional image. And then really we provide then the other health and safety workwear, which would be safety goggles, ear defenders and gloves. So you would be kitted out fully with the protective equipment required for your course. Yes, on the multi-trade, there is various elements of the course that you have to achieve. You have to learn about health and safety, of course. We need to make sure you're safe and everybody else you're working with is safe. So there is elements of a unit there, which is a mandatory unit, which is health and safety. And then the second part of that course, mandatory unit on multi-skill, is communications. So you need to be able to communicate with your work colleagues. You need to be able to interact with your suppliers. So that is part of what you need to do. And what we want you to do with the multi-trade is to try all the courses, not just pick one and two. What you need to do is to try all the trades, which, as I explained earlier, is the brickwork, carpentry and joinery, painting and decorating, ceramic tiling and plastering. It will give you a feel for what you need to do. Employers nowadays want to see a tradesperson who's got multi-skills, and that's what it's all about. So carpentry would be a good additional training to be able to then actually show how good you are at various other skills. And then you can actually either stay as a multi-trade operative or specialize in other subjects. When I was talking about the personal protective equipment, PPE, as it's known, is that yes, you just need your boots and overalls. Other tools we supply, the college supplies all the tools and materials that you require to actually work through your course and achieve your qualification. So what we need you to do is to make sure that you apply as soon as you can. Make sure you actually email us or fill in the online application, and we can process your application as soon as possible, and then you're reassured that you've got your place on the course. But as I was saying earlier, you need at least a minimum of grade 2s in maths and English for your multi-trade, and also on your brickwork course, you need a minimum of grade 3s in maths and English. That will give you a good an interview process and a position to actually apply for the course for next year. What you find when you go out into industry is that companies will look at employing somebody who has got a lot more talent than just one specific trade. If you can adjust yourself and actually be able to get involved to doing other projects and other jobs, that means that your employer doesn't have to send another specialist to do the work if you're able to do that. If you've already got your maths and English, which would have to be a grade 4, what you would be doing is you would be exempt actually studying maths and English here, and we would actually work with you on other projects to actually broaden your skills. So we would be able to develop your trade a lot more effectively because you don't have to concentrate on your maths and English as well. You're actually, the days you would be in college are 3 days a week. They are subject to timetable changes, but on multi-trade, we normally have you in as best we possibly can on Wednesday, Thursdays and Fridays, or at least we group the 3 days together. Unfortunately, because of scheduling of maths and English, some courses have to be changed. On brickwork, you might find you might be in Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, but we try and make it as solid as we can in the respects of a weekly timetable, so then you have time to actually get yourself a part-time job. We hope that you actually can broaden your knowledge while you're still at college by gaining employment, so you actually know what the real workplace is like. If you need or if you receive support at school, what we can do is to make sure that those concessions you might have had at school are transferred over when you're in college. These might be that you might need a reader or a scribe. That will, if we've got the evidence from your school, you'll get that continual support in college. If you have an EHCP, what we would do, we would actually look at what support was required for you actually being able to enroll on that program. What we try and do on while you're at college as well, if we have any external projects that maybe in the community want us to do, we will assess that sort of project and see if we've got any learners that are able to do that. We actually have some community projects around the local area So we might go and help, say, the Eleanor Hospice build a couple of brick walls in their garden area. We might have some multi-trade students go and do some other work for a local charity. So what we try and do is to try and give you real hands-on experience with real clients. So that's what we try and do while you're in here. If you do get any work while you're in college, that might be a project for your parents or aunties and uncles, we will try and give you some good advice on that. On the brickwork, what we hope you can do while you're in on the brickwork is you start off building just straightforward brick walls up to at least 1 meter high and 2.5 meters long. That's called building a wall to a line. And then what we'll do is then we'll introduce corners. And once we can start doing that, you can actually build a basic house extension, progressing up from just a garden wall, maybe even want to build a barbecue, to actually working on house extensions. Might be just an extra room on the side of a building. But as a bricklayer, you'll be able to do that. As you can see around the area of Gravesend and a lot of areas locally, there's a lot of houses being built. So everybody said that there wouldn't be of traditional brick build, but we find there is. And some people will say we have a shortage of bricklayers. So if you want to become a bricklayer, this is the time to do so. But if you haven't just got the grades and you might have to start on multi-trade, what you might want to do then is to actually make sure you get your maths and English while you're at college. So then you can actually progress in your second year onto bricklaying. So then from that point of view, you can do that. And then once you've actually got that experience out into industry, building houses will be your daily work. You might see that I've got a shirt on with a college logo on there. What we do, we supply at a cost 3 t-shirts with the NK logo on with construction written underneath. If you see anybody out in industry from construction or any support trades, you find that they're actually got their company logos on. If you've got work trousers on, you've got a work t-shirt on, you look a lot more professional. And what we try and do is we want our learners to be very professional. We want them to have a good knowledge of their trade area, and also we want them to be actually good tradespeople. So if you look the part, that is excuse me, halfway to being the part. So you'll get the training at North Kent College, and also you'll gain the experience through the time you're here. As I said on my introduction, as a bricklayer, once you've gained that employment and you've gained some experiences, might be a year or so down the line, but you could actually be on 180 to 200 pounds a day. That might seem a lot, but that would be for a self-employed bricklayer. Don't forget, you've got your tax and national insurance to be taken out of that, but you would be on that sort of money per day if you were self-employed. If you're working for a company, what you need to do is to see what the hourly rate is with that. On the multi-trade, we actually phase throughout the year the different trade areas. What we do is that you might come in September and then you actually would be on, say, brickwork through to Christmas. And then in the January, you would start on painting and decorating, or you might actually go into carpentry. But during that time, that would be integrated with some ceramic tiling, along with, while you were in the brickwork, you would actually be doing some plastering and rendering. So it's not all one subject throughout the whole year. We divide the year into different terms, as you would normally have at school. The college terms are no different, and what we do is we use those terms to actually divide the actual trades up, and we actually then see what other interesting projects we can get to do while you're in college, to broaden your skills and hopefully for your time to be enjoyed while you're here. What we might find in college as well, that it's normally or mainly from school leavers, might be 16 through till 18. That's a compulsory time you need to be still in education or training. So we expect you to either be at school or actually enroll at North Kent College. But occasionally we do have some adult learners. They might actually have a fee to pay to be able to join the course, but that doesn't deter any adults to actually become a bricklayer or actually a multi-trade person on a construction company. So if you're doing ceramic tiling on your course as a multi-trade activity, what you would be expected to do is to be able to tile a wall area. If you think about your kitchen, the window above the worktop and around the area above the worktop and around the window, that's called the splashback area. You would have to be able to tile all around there, cut the tiles accurately to fit into the reveals, use plastic beading for the corners, and how they're actually angled and cut into place. And then you would be able to have to grout that area. On the painting and decorating side of the multi-trade, you've got your own individual small room. You have to be able to prepare all those surfaces, which include a ceiling, coving, the wall areas as a door, architrave, which that's the frame that goes around the door, and the skirting. You would have to be able to prepare all of that, and then actually bring that up to a good finish in a two-coat paint system. If you're actually painting a room at home and you wanted, for that to be done for you, that you're looking at maybe at least a couple of £100. So even if at college you're learning that ability, that knowledge, you would be able to save yourself some money by having that experience while you're working here. We do, during the time of year, we look at how learners are progressing, and you'll find that people find it really easy to develop their skills, or they just have the natural flair for becoming a painter and decorator, working as a bricklayer. And what we do as well is we have regional and national competitions. So what we do is we look at the actual learners we're training, and actually work with those individuals and also the rest of the group to be able to support those individuals. And we'll take them to various parts of the country, and we'll actually enter them into competitions. You'll see other colleges and training providers there as well, and you'll be able to see how good you really are as compared to other colleges and training providers. It's good for you because it's it actually gets you to develop your own skills. You can see what you need to improve on. You can see what other people are doing, and you can actually then gauge your ability against other individuals that you've never met. And even the better thing about it is that sometimes there's even some prizes at the end of that, which you might even be able to improve your toolkit. So then when you actually do go into industry, you've got some good tools and equipment that you've actually won at competitions. On the carpentry side of multi-trade, you're actually got 3 units within that. You have to be able to hang a door. So that includes cutting the hinges in and then actually drilling out the compartment on the other side of the hinges so you can actually put the lock in and the handles, and then you have to locate that into the door frame. The other part of that, the other unit is you have to scribe and install skirting around internal and external corners. And then the third element of that, you have to make a frame with 4 different types of joints. So by the time you've done all of that, you should be able to do most boxing in and any work around the house that requires any carpentry work. If you really want to have a look at our facilities, we have on our homepage at North Kent College, we have a 365 tour. So that really is a virtual tour of the facilities. So you would actually think you were walking through those facilities, and they're on our website at North Kent College. So as I was saying, on the bricklaying side, on both the multi-trade and also on the bricklaying, what you are able to do is to develop your skills to be able to build a brick wall and then a wall out of blocks. I don't know if you've seen when they're actually on a building site, you've got a larger block, which is maybe about 4 times the size of a brick. So that becomes a block wall, and then the 2 together would be a cavity wall. So on the bricklaying side, you would be able to actually build all of that and actually do the internal and external angles, and to actually be able to build an extension by the time you're finished at North Kent College.
Perfect. Thank you, Derek. That was amazing insight to brickwork and multi-trades there. Just for some latecomers, I'm going to be playing the Gravesend Campus Tour video again and the multi-trade and brickwork video as well. So I hope you enjoy.
I done level 1 multi-trade last year, and now I'm on to level 2 maintenance. Within construction, it was all the basics of like learning how to build and what tiling is and painting and that. Whereas level 2 is basically like that, but the repairs to it, so it's just like the added on bit. So really just repairs to it, and quite enjoying it because it's just up on your feet, moving about, and you're doing stuff. But I can bricklay, paint, render, tile and that, and it's giving me the skills to be able to go out and have my own job and earn the money that I can.
Hello everyone, I hope you really enjoyed that video. Derek, we do have one more question. If you're able to just give a little bit more detail about it. It says, Build Blitz heard some of your guys went to South Africa. Can you tell me a bit more about that, please?
Yeah, about 4 years ago, this guy just came into the college. We didn't really know who he was, but we've then, since then, struck up a wonderful relationship with this person. He is a real fantastic person. He's a local businessman, and he had this idea that he would be able to fund at least 4 of our learners each year to accompany a group of people, in fact, nearly a plane load of people with all construction backgrounds. And actually, he decided that he was going to fund for 4 learners to be flown out to South Africa and actually help young people like the people we train to actually build schools. Excuse me. So what happens is that each year now, we actually ask 4 of our construction learners to put themselves forward. They have to do a small interview. And actually then they've got to give a good reason to this person who funds them to be flown out to South Africa, stay in a hotel for a week, and they join all of these other construction people, and they gain a lot of experience in building new schools for the youngsters in the townships in South Africa.
Wow, amazing. Brilliant. Thank you for that insight. And obviously, thank you for the insight about multi-trades and brickwork as a whole this evening. It's been really amazing. As mentioned before, if you are watching on Facebook, you can visit our events page. And there is an email there if you would like any more information or more one-to-one support with anything like that. We also will be following up with an email to anybody that's registered, and that will also have details about who you can contact for further information and one-to-one support. We do obviously request that you do apply now. The sooner the better, and we've hoped you really enjoyed this evening's event. Thank you, Derek, one last time.
You're more than welcome, Sean, and thank you for being part of this presentation. And guys, if you're all out there, you need to apply as soon as you possibly can and secure your place for next year. It's a wonderful college to work in. As I think I said right at the beginning, I've been here 18 years, and it's a real great place. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Derek. Bye, everyone.